Hey guys, welcome back to the Goodfellow Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Barone. If you like us, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to look at our Patreon channel and check out our shop with all the Goodfellow memorabilia, the hats and the shirts and all that kind of good stuff. You might like some of the things we got going on there. But without further ado, I have a really special guest today. Somebody from my legal team, and they actually know uh, the real ins and outs of the legal system, what the FBI did to me. Of course, if you're a lawyer, uh, they are anonymous because of the fact that they are still practicing law and they also don't want any repercussions from the government. Without further ado, I'd like to uh, say thanks for coming on. Obviously, it's been a long time since I seen you, but I appreciate you coming on. And this is, I know you guys, did a lot for me, and I can't thank you enough. I guess we can kind of start, if you want, about what happened to me. My first my arrest, my second pinch in 2009 of January. If you can elaborate what they did on the illegal search and seizure, how they messed all of that up, and then we can go from there.
Well, first, let me just say thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate that. And I'm glad to see you out still and free. It was a
Thanks,
lot of
me
work
too.
getting you there.
It was, and I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. We're going to show a picture of later on of my of me being my when I first got released. I just came across some pictures and I found them, and so somebody from there sent them to me, and so I'm going to show that how we celebrated. Uh, it was really good.
Oh yeah, the party at the bar.
Yep. That's it. Yeah, that's right. We even had Ed McDonald there. If anybody doesn't remember Ed McDonald, he was in the good movie, The Goodfellows. He's very famous. He also represented Joe Massino.
Yeah,
Joe,
he's done a lot of mob movies.
that's right.
He's,
That's right.
he's been in a lot of them. He likes
Yes,
to
he
he
has.
likes to walk the line. He's a real special guy.
Yeah, if you want to be nice, yes, exactly.
Yes.
But it was a definitely a liberation day. That's what I was looking for, the word that my friend texted me.
Yeah,
Okay.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So let them know a little bit how the arrest took place and a little bit of what that you had to go through to get the illegal search and seizure. As a matter of fact, I'm in the law books with the attorney on the case.
Yes. Yeah, your suppression hearing for the illegal search and seizure was made case law as a result of the judge's decision, our 40 some odd page decision that she wrote, where she pointed out how the NYPD officers who testified as witnesses for the government lied on the stand. She parsed her words. She didn't actually say they lied, but she said they lied. Um, yeah, that whole thing was a complete debacle. And let's start with first. They didn't have a warrant to arrest you. They didn't have a warrant to search your home. They moved within, I think it was 72 hours to secure the arrest. They had you under surveillance up till the point where you pulled into your driveway, and I believe you were with your ex-girlfriend with whom you owned the house at that time.
That's right.
And I believe that did they draw weapons on you to get you out of the car?
Yeah, the hell the head guy. Some one of them had the gun right to my head, and
Yeah.
I hit his gun like this. I said, "Get that off of me."
Meanwhile, as I recall, at trial, they discussed the activities of that day, and you were at the dry cleaners, the grocery store. You were doing all kinds of nefarious things, apparently.
My usual.
But yeah, but your usual nefarious stuff, picking up your dry cleaning. So,
Yeah.
as I recall, they pulled you out of the car in the driveway and held you out there for quite some time before they made you open, or was the garage open? I can't recall if the garage was open.
Uh, no, I don't think the garage. I don't think the garage was open.
Okay.
And I
So,
actually jumped out of the car because I saw somebody following us, and then I
yeah,
jumped out, like, to say who this was, and they already were on the grass and everything with their cars.
yeah. They did the same thing when they rearrested you about,
Yes.
you know, a month later or so, whatever it
I
was.
pulled
I
up
can't
with the
remember
cab.
exactly. Yeah. So, um, at the time that they came to arrest you, where they violated the law 10 ways to Sunday just before showing up already, because they had no legal standing to be there for that particular, for the reasons they stated. What
That's right.
what happened afterwards was they gained entry to the house, which they had no right to search. They had no, like I said, no search warrant. Um, and then they held you there, if I recall, for hours
Yes. While
in
they searched my whole house.
handcuffs
Yep.
in your foyer while they searched your house. And they didn't,
Mhm.
they said they did a security sweep for their own safety, a safety
Yes.
sweep. But in fact, what they were doing was rifling through, and the house was virtually empty, as I recall. There was, you had just had it renovated. So there wasn't really any furniture in the house. There wasn't anything in there but the things you used on a day-to-day basis. A
That's
chair in
right.
the living room in front of the TV, things like that. There wasn't an elaborate setup. There was
No, not
virtually
yet.
nothing there. The bedrooms were all empty except for the room that you slept in, which had a bed. No dressers, no nothing for them to go
Nope.
through. So they ended up, when they were doing their security sweep, going through things that were secured in your closet. One of them was the first gun that they found was in a shopping bag, if you recall. And you had folded the handles under so that it could fit under the shelf.
That's
So the
exactly
gun
right.
was, yeah, so the gun wasn't visible. But they went into that bag to look for it. That nobody's hiding in that bag that's going to harm them. So that was their first failure on the search.
And let me stop you there for 1 second. As a matter of fact, Judge Buchwald, who was the judge on the case, uh, she actually said, "How do you get into the closet when you walk into that bedroom?" And she knew the layout of the house because she actually Googled it. Okay, she
Yeah,
actually asked me the size of it, and she says, "I'm sure Mr. Barone knows the size of his house." And I told her, "But you have to go into the room. You open the door to get to the closet. You had to close the door to open the other doors coming towards you."
right.
So I told her what was I described to her in the shelves, if you remember the shelves that were there, and the bag was a Lloyd and Taylor bag, small one, maybe about 10, maybe 15 inches, 10 inches, whatever. But it had those long wire hangers. In order for me to fit it under the shelf with the gun in it and everything, plus I had paper on top of the gun, like I had that uh,
Tissue paper.
tissue paper, yes, exactly right. It was pink actually, and I had to fold the wires, the handles across
Handles.
each other, and then I slid it under that last shelf that was there in the middle. So he said it was right there out in broad daylight, and he said he saw something shiny. And I want to make a point. I want to let my fans know because my fans have been really loyal to me, and I appreciate everybody that listens, and also their feedback. I really want that. I'm letting everybody know this is coming from somebody firsthand on the legal team itself that went through everything with me step by step, day by day, hour by hour almost. I mean, it was like, and so this is how dirty the government really is. They will lie about you no matter what. Now, I understand sometimes a little bit they want to blemish the truth, but I was a informant for 18 years, never have lied to them. Always information was accurate. I
Yeah, we'll
mean,
talk about your 302s in a bit. I
yes.
honestly, um, the the thing with the FBI is they have a pat set of behavior. So they behave the same way with every person they arrest. Anytime they arrest you or threaten to arrest you, they'll tell you you're going to do 20 years. You'll never see your
Mhm.
family again. You'll never, it's the same spiel with every single person. So
That's right.
anybody out there who's listening, who is, God forbid, tied up with their mess, they're going to say that to you, to your family, to your wife. They'll tell her that you have girlfriends on the side. They'll mention
Mhm.
women's names. They'll do anything they can do to get you to go turn against your family member or your loved one. And they'll
That's
do
right.
everything to try to frighten you into. And the only reason that their prosecution rate is so high, their conviction rate is so high, is because number one, most people can't afford to fight them. I believe it costs you close to $250,000 to fight them.
400,000.
But in the end, but I'm
Yep.
saying, which is astronomical.
Yeah.
And against, they don't care whether the charges are legitimate or not.